Would like to see you in 2022.
Huh? 2022 is guys.
Which year are we on?
2024.
We'd like to see you in 2024.
More views.
More subscribers.
More views.
Because I think subscribers drive views. Because when you do one content...
What does YouTube say? I don't know.
So there's a metric which shows you...
Yeah, you don't. You get paid for views right now. It matters
in
like
the long term.
I
think it's because I usually check where the stat which shows new viewers versus returning viewers. So I think when you're growing the channel, I think you should be having more new than returning.
Yeah.
Then once you get to that critical mass, which is now good for you, then returning viewers
it's more important. There's engagement.
There's engagement.
And then I also want to get to the stage of Mr. Beast where I'm like, Wangari gave 1 million shillings to this startup to grow. That is where I want to give them.
You need to make money first.
Yeah, I need to make money first.
Yeah.
But one day,
I
am a CEO of a YouTube channel.
Well, I think initially, because we're like, let's just try this out, right? And then it was like, let's have fun. But I think when it came to thinking about money...
It got stressful.
It now feels like a startup.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you start to figure out... I started realizing I'm spending way too much time producing this content, analyzing data. Then in my mind, like, I need an ROI.
Yeah.
I could spend this time sleeping or doing some side gigs and make money.
Yeah.
So now I'm foregoing something else to make this content. So that's when now, to me, it started feeling like a startup, and I started reviewing the metrics. And when am I getting to monetization? How much money can I make out of this? Do I need, if I was going to make a living out of this, how many videos do I need to do? What's the quality? Do I need to create a rate card? So then at that point, then it feels like a startup.
Yeah.
When This Is Us blew up back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, maybe less.
This Is Us. Tell us about This Is Us.
Yeah, she had her channel. She still has it. And... she became big. I remember her website crashing when she announced her engagement, and everyone was like, "Who's this lucky bastard?" About this, and then
that could have been you,
or anyone else.
But I don't know. YouTube needs to be a little bit fair. They're so unfair to like African content creators. There's a lot. You're just like, why should we?
I don't think they are, because I was reading the reason why CPMs are lower in Africa.
Why?
It's because in the US, people pay more. So how it happens is people bid for keywords. Let's say the keyword betting. Mm-hmm. So different companies, and the more people bid for it, the person who ends up winning that for whatever period you want to advertise would pay, let's say, $10.
Yeah.
In Kenya, no one is bidding for anything.
It's the end of the year, and what a year it has been. So I think this is the last episode for 2023. So we're just doing like a recap, wrap it up. And stay tuned.
Spotify wrapped.
YouTube wrapped.
Is there a Twitter wrap?
That would be so weird.
I saw a Ruto wrap.
Oh, there's a... Oh, really?
All his promises.
And everything that was not delivered.
Delivered. And how many hours he spent out of Kenya.
How many hours has he spent out of Kenya?
It was a ridiculous number, like hundreds of thousands.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his wrapped version.
How's your year been? How's your content creation year been?
Oh, apart from being sued. Be sharp. Don't be scammed. Understand risk. Don't believe experts. And don't be a Hello. Welcome back to Orwa's Digest. Today I have a question for you. Are you a sitonaire? Why are you a sitonaire? This is one of the biggest bullshit I felt for.
A few moments later.
Oh, I didn't expect it.
To be sued?
No. Like the girl. Okay. I didn't expect to be sued. I was like, let me just go do this. And we ran into Dande and his shenanigans. So I think a lot of people discovered the channel because of
because of Dande.
because of Dande.
So we thank Dande for your growth.
Somehow, I think.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
If he didn't tweet and start being like,
Yeah. Yeah. But when you look at the back end, the YouTube stats, they usually have a metrics which says, what's the name of the metric? How many people came back after watching a video? Which video has the most returning
viewers.
returning viewers? It had the lowest returning viewers. It's very low. Of course, it's expected because it's diverse audience. They only came in for that one video. And probably there was no other video that will bring them or they'd like to watch, which is expected for that. So I think that was the highlight and winning the case. that was a highlight. I think initially the idea started off like doing analysis of different things. So I think we've tried quite well to keep the analysis going, although it's usually very hard every week to find something and analyze it thoroughly, shoot it, plus the edit. It gets a bit
and it's so funny. Remember how you were very hesitant to start this journey?
Come on. just being on camera feels weird. And now this is the third time that we've met someone in the streets.
And they're like, hey,
yeah, the first
Orwa.
At cafe in Westlands, it happened twice.
And I think I was with you once. I was like, wow, look at this famous guy.
Yesterday at Westlands, India party at Ambience Mall, there's some eatery. I was just there and someone like, hey, Chris. And I'm like, okay, this is what I did not want. I just wanted to be a...
You don't like attention?
No, sometimes you're just there, you just have a drink, an easy day, then all of a sudden now you have to be proper. And like,
which is hard for you, I get it.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to be shady and research and then you get... Yeah, so that's part of the reason I was hesitant, but also I never thought it would work because YouTube tends to be where people come to be entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the relationships, celebrity gossip, all other things of people jumping around, doing pranks. That's what really people watch on YouTube. On the female side, it's makeup and relationship advice and that kind of thing. So I think if you check the top YouTubers in Kenya, they'll fall within that
space
category. So I was like, I don't think this would work. But it's growing.
Let's see. I think for me, one thing that surprised me, and I was telling you, is that I don't have many female subscribers. Like it's still like, and I'm like,
women.
And I remember like when I first started, that was one thing I wanted to focus on, like showcasing like women in tech, women building businesses. But it's very hard to like even just get guests who like are willing to talk about that. And and I generally don't think women are interested in our conversations and topics. Cool. I might be abused, but it's kind of the data shows that.
I shared the stats with you, which shows YouTube is about 55% male and 45% female. But the male audience mostly goes for sports, gaming, and a few other technical things. Yeah. And then women are predominantly on skincare and beauty, gossip, and that kind of thing. Because if I check my channel, it's 90% male, 10% women. And this tries a little bit to... I know people don't like Jordan Peterson. I also think he can be a little bit of an ass.
A tool.
Yeah. And misconstrue certain things. But there's something he said that made me start thinking about it, of this Scandinavian experiment. Not an experiment, but they decided to be more an egalitarian society. Yeah. Where there are no women chose versus a man chose. There are no gender, like whatever a boy gets exposed to, also a girl gets exposed to.
The crucial test was the Scandinavian countries, because the Scandinavians have done a lot to flatten out the sociological landscape for men and women. And
Right.
the consequence of that has actually been that the differences between men and women in Scandinavia have got larger, not only in terms of personality, but also in terms of interest. And interest is, men tend to be interested in things, and women tend to be interested in people.
And when they introduced that, I think it was like 20, 25 years ago. So now when these children who were born in this setup, they looked at what was their final career choices.
Yeah.
And he is stating that most of the women ended up in women choices. And then it's like
What are women choices?
nursing,
Oh, okay.
other things that are softer things that people traditionally try to equate to women, and then went to engineering. And he said something, maybe women just gravitate towards certain things.
Yeah.
It's not
Nature.
it's their nature.
Yeah.
And I think he gave other examples like universities where they made it even easier for women to do engineering and give scholarships.
Yeah.
You could come and study whatever you liked, but they figured out most women ended up in those female kind of courses. So I think the YouTube data tries to prove that
Yeah.
yes, YouTube is available for everyone to watch, and women still prefer to watch certain thing. Someone else would argue that their upbringing, they were brought up in a society that told them women should only care about ABCD. But the Scandinavian experience, I'd like to check Scandinavian YouTube stats. We feel like whether you were brought up in an equal egalitarian society,
You'll just tend to gravitate towards.
and maybe at some point of so many years of collecting data, we will come to that agreement that it's okay. If there are women who are great, who can do engineering, math, care about data and all that kind of stuff, fine. But we don't have to push for that equality if majority of women would naturally not want to be in those
Yeah.
fields. Yeah.
Okay. Albert, you have some questions for us, right? No, I don't want to answer that question.
I was forced. I was forced.
Yes, yeah, I did force him actually.
Yeah, I was very hesitant. I really loved just sitting down and writing. I've been writing, for maybe 10 years or so on my blog, for other publications like Nation. And, there is like a barrier, and you can sit down, think through, man, going on camera, and sometimes you have to script things in your head is very tough. So I had to be forced.
Yet to be forced. And you're enjoying it.
Yeah, so far, I think, we did the experiment where I was still adamant that articles were great. We actually did 2 experiments. One where I do an article and
Yeah.
do a video of that article and see
Yeah.
which one gets more views. And video definitely.
It's your
won.
audience. Kenyans just prefer video. That's where
Yeah, I
they
think
are
also the reading audience is,
quite small.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What inspired? I've been on this journey for a while. 2021 is when I first released my first episode. And I think it still comes back to providing a space to educate my audience around things, work, business, people, tech, product. So that is my inspiration and still my inspiration.
What about the network?
Oh, the creator. So I do want to build a media company around really great creators in the tech space. So Chris being my first test. And I forced him, as he says, but it's doing really well. And I think just having those stories, having people who are very knowledgeable and coming to share in the data space, in the product space, in the research space, I think there's a lot of opportunity, and we're not doing enough to promote ourselves in that space. And after all, we are in the Silicon Savannah, as they say, so we might as well start telling those stories and tell them well.
So how many creators do you have so far?
Right now I have there's me and you. There's 1, 2, and hopefully I'll be bringing on another creator early next year. But if you're a creator and you want to create with us, I'm looking to grow this network. Okay, I think for me it has to be my interview with Sam Gikandi. That's like, whoa, what is that? It was just like a really like fire, vulnerable, and like, yeah, I felt nice that he, trusted like me and the platform. But it did take some time because I've been wanting to get him on set for a while. But it's like definitely one of my most memorable. I mean, all of them have been great, but yeah, it's been my longest pod the whole year. So
Oh, I'm trying to think which one will be very memorable. I think I have two answers here. So there's the one that I created that I felt nice about it, even if it didn't blow up. This was on origin of the word Kayole.
okay,
And how
yeah.
the Ugandan prostitutes probably the ones who crafted the word, brought the word to Kenya. Because I had to research a lot.
Yeah.
I researched a lot, and to me, it was one of those aha moments. It's like the apple falling down for Isaac Newton. So I just felt like I've discovered something.
Yeah.
That's what I felt. But on the other side,
Viewership.
on the viewership, it's even YouTube. I don't think is monetizing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I felt very great producing it. The other thing I call it a surprise was on the Bitcoin when we went to Muranga,
Yeah.
because this was such a random thing. One of my friends called me up like, "Hey, Chris, I'm going to this place. Would you like to come?" Then I was like, "Yeah, sure." It was just supposed to be a trip, and then I asked him like, "Oh, can I bring a camera?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." So and shot it, had a lot of fun. But when he put it up,
Yeah, there was a lot of interest. Engagement was high.
engagement was very high, and I think it's the only video that grows by itself. Because most videos you shoot them, and then within 1 week you get most of the views,
And then after that it kind
dies
of
off.
Yeah.
But then it just keeps on growing, and there's this interest. Then some guys in Indonesia want to know how Bitcoin is mined in Kenya. Even the title, because initially I had a very bad title. Okay, it was called Bitcoin Toxic Maximalist.
Yeah,
Then someone commented, "Great
that
video,
Bad
but
title.
change this title to how Bitcoin is mined in Kenya." And I was like, okay. Then I changed it to that. So the engagement was great, and it keeps on growing. Every day I check, there's like 1K added.
Oh wow.
to the,
So is that
like
your most
100.
popular video?
Outside
Kenya.
Dande?
Outside Dundee.
Outside Dande, it's the most popular video.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Hey, Chris, how much do you have in your... How much do you have?
$10.
Nice. Congratulations. I have $22, I believe. But it feels nice. Like, it's not much money. I understand.
something.
It's something.
Yeah.
Like, I see ads of Safaricom running on my Moringa school, and you're like, this guy's would never...
I started taking interest in ads.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, watch it. Yeah.
So when I'm bored, I usually sit down and rewatch those videos and see which type of
Ads are coming up.
on which
video.
video, check which video attracts most CPM for that. So now I have a new hobby. When I'm bored, I check ads and try to figure out. I remember there's a day I was watching YouTube on TV, then a Jumbo Jet ad came up.
Oh,
Then I was like, whoa, yo, this should have matched very well
with your Jumbo Jet video.
with your Jumbo Jet video. So I went and played the Jumbo Jet video to check if the ad would come up.
Yeah.
It did not come up, but I'm assuming there's
There's something.
some other things. But yeah, it took me 5 months
Yeah, 5 months.
to be monetized.
It took me 3 years.
It was Dande who pushed.
It was done there.
It was Dande who pushed it to monetization. Yeah, but it monetized. I think I don't know about the average time for other channels, but I feel like it monetized pretty quickly.
No, that was very quick. Like, I can tell you for sure that was very quick. So, congrats. Yeah, but I mean, it's something. You're being paid something. Definitely looking to grow that number, and we'll get there.
$1,000.
Yep. You don't have guests.
Majani.
Oh, really?
You guys have done joint episodes.
Yeah, we've done joint episodes. So it's yours as my journey.
I really, the conversation was just flowing.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
And
No, no. Before we get to Lionsden, how much money did Gaffler make?
So you guys, look, Gaffler has been in business for 14 years.
Yeah.
So it's made a lot of money.
It's witty, and there was no preparation in my mind. You know the way you just flow. Everything was just
Yeah, it's just easy.
yeah.
For me, that's a tough one because all my guests are my favorite guests. Like no, it's true. Like I learn from all of them, so I wouldn't say I had a favorite.
If I was to go with the most knowledgeable one, it was Kikonde.
Okay.
I felt like he has a lot of business knowledge.
Yeah.
He has.
Oh no, true.
Yeah, and the way he answers the question, he shows you like a background.
They're
and
thinking the context
in the
and why that
context,
decision
and
was
then
made.
gives the answer. So that was from a knowledge perspective, that was very great. But just like how it flowed, Majani he was just there.
He just survived.
He was
Yeah.
just throwing. I was like, half the time I was just laughing.
Laughing, yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's tough. I don't have like a favorite one. But I think also like the Pickup Mtani guys
yeah.
were also like remarkable for me. Like I think
I felt
just there they were they're just guys,
Yeah.
grounded people building businesses.
if there's a word I would describe,
Yeah.
it was very soulful.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just there like, these guys were just talking their hearts out.
Yeah, which is like
yeah,
beautiful.
it was quite great.
Yeah. But thank you all the guests. This wouldn't be possible without you. So
And the guests who have not been mentioned.
yeah, exactly. You are great, all of you.
yeah, Chrome.
He wants a glass of water. I know, seriously.
There's water here.
Twende. Kwa sawa, mimi sikupei kitu.
Mine? Yeah, I think definitely. And every time there's a video, so most of the time you do research. You take the data, you analyze, you find some patterns, and then you try to figure out why you have that pattern, and that pattern tends to be the story. And all the time there's someone who is more knowledgeable than you, who corrects you
Yeah, in the comment section.
in the
Yeah.
comment section about why you observe that pattern or why you are wrong
Yeah.
in certain explanation. It happens a lot, and most of the time I'm not a subject matter expert. I'm
Just looking at the data and
I'm looking at the
analyzing.
data,
Yeah.
trying to dig as much as possible in there. I think the one about KCSE, and when there was a dip, and in 2016 when Matiang'i was the minister CS for education, someone said like, hey, the reason why there was a dip, it can be attributed to cheating, but that's not. It's because all other years exams are normalized, meaning that after you get your raw marks, they decide to add or reduce. So Matiang'i came and cancelled that.
Yeah.
So you are attributing that dip to like
cheat.
now people are no longer cheating.
Yeah.
Right. Previous people used to cheat, but from the explanation was that it was normalization, which was like, okay, that could make sense for that. You think you know or you've nailed down something, and then someone corrects.
Yeah. Which I think is a very important aspect in data because people are like, the data cannot lie, but you always need to bring this other context into data.
I think I'll say that context is king.
He's king.
Yeah. Absolutely. And there is even the one I did about how the Luo accent came from. There's someone who went and did like a very long comment, can't remember his name, and he explained what I actually missed out. And he corrected me, the Mahdi were not Nilotic, they're actually called Sudanic group. Then I was like, because I assumed they were in Sudan and it's the Nilots. Then it's like, so I went and read the whole history, and then he explained how actually the Mahdi people came from Nigeria.
Oh, interesting.
Then went to Chad, then moved to South Sudan.
So they actually like Luo's actually originally like kind of like Nigerian.
Yeah, that's now the.
No way.
Yeah, then.
Because Luo's and they have a lot of similarities.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Then I was like, oh.
Mind blown.
Mind blown. Yeah, so there's always someone who knows more than you.
Yeah. And I think that's a great thing about putting out context. Like that's what I said. It's like you learn a lot from like doing it, and then also people like just sharing their knowledge.
Yeah, there's some people who are well read than you in certain subjects. And remember, every week you're going into a new area.
Yeah.
And within 1 week you have to read
all that kind of it's
yeah, so you
hard.
definitely miss certain things.
Awesome. I think on my side, more popular, I think like people really liked Startup Autopsy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, this, and I think it was just like a concept we were just trying out. Like, but I think that is honestly my most like popular video, and also engagement. And I think, you know, sometimes when you get good engagement, you'll also get bad engagement. So you'll see that there's a balance with that. There's a lot of engagement, but there's like positive things, and then things that are not so positive. Yeah.
Controversial. Well, it's not really, because most of the things is just explanations on my side. That mostly explain.
Oh, Manyala was Hey, my guy.
No, only Kenyans don't like when you say something negative about their heroes. It's human nature.
Yeah.
So a few people went there and like, you told the truth.
Yeah.
But, you know, this guy's our hero.
And then when you said his wrong name, they're like, hey.
Yeah, actually I missed it. I said Frederick instead of Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Like, see, this guy knows nothing.
Just like, calm down. So one mistake.
Yeah, but a few people appreciated the analysis. And then after, because we did it before, he went for the... what league was it? Not the Diamond League. There was the World Championship, I think. And then my conclusion was that he becomes number 1 too because other people
are not
in that
racing,
race.
Yeah.
And I said, if all the top 10 people race, he probably end up at number 4, 5.
Yeah.
And he ended up at number 4. So a few people came back and like spot on analysis.
Yeah.
a few people. But majority, like, no, this is why Kenya will never go anywhere. You hate on your own. I'm like, criticism, or at least constructive criticism, should not be a bad thing.
Exactly.
If I just criticize, then that's wrong. But if I criticize with context and data and try to show my point of view, that should be good.
It should be okay.
And I remember there was a comment. What's the name? Someone said, "Look at this person who is not a sports scientist trying to analyze." Then I was like, "It's true. I'm not a sports scientist. I'm just someone trying to get perspective using data. On that." So some of them, like that one, I felt it was just emotions. People felt like, we should praise him. And then people added some useful things like, this guy has no training, has no support from the government.
Yeah.
He's doing all this by himself. So that heavy criticism would have been great if he had all the equipment, all the support, and all the payments.
But then I come back to I don't think it was heavy criticism. You looked at data and you told a story, and some people didn't like the story that was
some
being
criticism
told.
are great because someone also corrected me on the YouTube video. Someone made a correction. He's like, there's a very good reason why these things don't last 6 years. Is because YouTube CPM used to be very low back in the day. So after running something for a few years and it's not paying, then So actually, you should start analyzing the people who are running content right now, who's now when CPM is very high, and you can...
Us guys.
Yeah, so
hopefully.
Reason is, before 2012, YouTube was not paying enough money to content creators. So anyone who was running during that, who was running his or her YouTube channel during that time, was probably making nothing out of it. So that's the reason why you have these 6 years. Then I was like, okay, I didn't think through that. So that has an explanation, and that's I can take back. Yeah. But the Manyala one, people were just being
very emotional.
Kenyans.
We love you, Kenyans. That's a very interesting question. I think for me, when I started, there was a lot of oh my gosh, what will people say? Oh my gosh, I got a bad comment. These days I don't. I'm like, talk. Say anything you want, troll me. It's like, I think you just have become very immune to that. And people like can be abusive and very mean in the comment section.
It's online. So
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think as you grow in, that tends to happen. So it's just like, just learn how to deal with that. So I think that's one aspect I've grown into. I really like the process now. I don't put so much pressure on like, I have to do a video every week. I'm like, when the time comes with the right guests, I will go ahead and record. And then, I think also just understanding and bringing in like someone like Chris, who's doing a great job. Because I can't do everything. Like bringing an expert to run their own type of content. I think that's how I've grown.
Oh, let me think.
You're only 5 months.
I only have 5 months, so try to think what has changed.
You were spoon-fed.
No.
Give everything to you and I said, yes, Chris.
Okay, anyway, I was not going to do it by myself.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have done this podcast, but I bet I'll just write an article and leave it at that. I think when it got started, when an episode comes out, I'm so excited. I want to share it everywhere. Then, I want to see the views. I was like, every 5 minutes, I'm on the stats. And then a few videos disappoint. And then you feel bad for yourself. Then I think something that I've just figured out, like, let me know when the video is out. Now I can schedule posts. Like, this will go out tomorrow. This will go up the other day. So I think I'm trying to be a bit more patient now. I want to share it on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook and other things and kind of stuff. So I'm trying to put some process to it so that I don't get mad when
videos don't go as you expected.
Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, when I look at the content, like creating content, I think one challenge I always had was getting people to like, first of all, you're an upcoming creator and making sure that you're doing a quality job for me. Like, starting at the SEMA box to like saying like, these guys are not giving me the quality I expect, like for my videos. And then just being, that was a challenge, but like I overcame that by like, let me just like invest like in a team to make sure like we're really getting good quality content out there. It's kind of hard. And as soon as you make that decision, you can see like viewership goes up, engagement goes up, like, which is really nice. So for me, it's just like, investing in the process.
A challenge. Definitely for me, challenge is finding a story to analyze, finding the data. Sometimes it's just blank. Kenya and Africa in general is a data scarce country and continent. So you might have, or someone might comment like, hey, would you mind analyzing this? Then like, it's a great topic, but you have no data.
The data, right? Yeah.
And then, so that is a bit hard. And then sometimes you actually have to analyze the data to get the angle of the story.
Yeah.
And if you analyze the data and get nothing, that's wasted time we could have used to do something else. But also, I think there's a time when you just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
You just don't want to shoot. You just... And you're like, no. And then you realize, you committed to this thing. And you also don't want to do a lousy job of just pushing something out there. So, it just drains your soul.
That's one word for it.
Yeah.
Notable feedback. I guess I'll start with the good. Like, I think people like super appreciate like the guests and just hearing people's stories. I do think like we sometimes provide masterclasses with some of the guests that we bring. They come in and just like you're learning so much about like business, about technology, about just that life cycle. So I think that's like a positive thing. Negative, let me think. I think like the most negative post that or video that I've done is the one on what's this called? Startup autopsy, but funny, it's the most like watched one. But like it was interesting because like someone like put in the comment, yo, why is Wangari shouting?
I remember that.
Yeah, then you just see people like, hey, it's like people know you, man. Tell this chick to go to, I don't know, professional school, follow this. It's like these people do not even know me. So it for me, but I think for me that was like kind of a lesson. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm sorry for shouting. I will shout when I'm excited. Like I'm not going go somewhere else, create your own content. I don't care. But I think just making sure, we're doing things a little bit more, like making sure that conversations can be had. But I will never apologize for being excited about something and raising my voice and just excitability. But
You know, that's pushing a stereotype
what stereotype?
about women.
What's stereotype about women? Tell me. There are very many stereotypes about women.
Being loud.
There's a stereotype that women are loud?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I guess my kids will also agree to you. Like, and I'm like, and there's something wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a stereotype out there.
So I should like sit down and be quiet.
No, you're getting it the opposite. I'm just saying, you know, the stereotypes about men, the stereotypes about people from different tribes, the stereotypes exist everywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's, in some people's mind, they'll be like, we understand why this is happening because
she's a woman.
Yeah.
So that means I shouldn't shout.
No. You already said that you'll do it whether someone likes it or not. I'm just saying it in other people's minds, it gets perpetuated as a stereotype.
Okay, so people come in with their own biases about a woman, about Wangari, about not even. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so people also come in with,
and I have no control over that.
And it's life.
Amen. That's what I felt.
Yeah, titles. I've made 2 titles from Listen, who gave me the title, because I think I'm very horrible at coming up with titles.
You're the worst.
Even sometimes I use a title generator, which doesn't work. So like the one he did after Cyton about winning the case. Actually, someone suggested it from a WhatsApp group, and I've just picked it exactly how it was and I put it there. The one on Bitcoin. Yes, I used someone else's title to put it there. On approach for videos, well, not really. I think, you know, we've tried to come up with a format that works. We pick a topic, figure out a problem, we try to show why it happened and provide some remedies or what we think would be the solution. So that tends to work, but we made an episode or a mini episode from listeners who ask, can you look at why Achapost is named Achapost in Samburu, which is awkward. So that was the feedback. I think, what else? Mostly it's just discussions. But those are examples where the feedback has influenced video.
Yeah, for me, definitely draw a lot of like inspiration. Someone will be like, reach out to, like even Africa's Talking. Someone said, reach out to Sam, reach out to someone from Pick Up Mtani. And like I draw a lot of inspirations from people in the comment section, my viewership. Because listen to your viewers. It's like listening to your customers. Because that kind of helps like bring them back and like I take that seriously.
And there's someone who said on one of the comments, you should do such videos every week. And when you're taking a hiatus, let us know. Yeah.
So that is like proper engagement. You need to listen to that. Yeah.
So now we have to do a video every week.
Awesome. But we need money. As you heard, we're getting $15, $25, half of what Chris is mine. So it's not like.
I've made $5.
Clearly, yeah. That's a
Well,
heavy question.
we know startups have been decimated.
Yeah, it's been a tough year.
It's been a tough year for startups. I think the most funded startups either shut down or went through a massive downsizing for that. So I think for me, I think the funding aspect, and we've talked about this, bootstrapping versus raising money. I think that now has sunk in into the startup mindset in Kenya and even the world. I think so, because you're exposed to that funding risk, if I might call it. So, for that, then I think on the quality of startups, like we've talked about, are we? Do you have a product market fit? Are you doing Uber for Kenya? Are you doing Go? Or are we contextualizing and building businesses as we Kenyans and Africans operate? Great examples pick up Mtani for that. So I think the lesson is your funding really matters. It's a risk within your business, and your product market fit is also the key component. If you get it wrong, you probably not survive another 2-3 years.
Totally agree. Wow. I think for me, one thing, this whole technology enabled nonsense, I'll call it nonsense. It's just all kind of like, no, I'm not a big believer of it. I think it's just like,
but also,
buzzwords.
No, I think on the flip side, can Kenya support fully technology companies? Like where how Majani said, now he's a one-man company. Fully tech companies. I think because of how our economy is structured, you don't expect to have fully technology companies. A lot will be tech-enabled businesses. And I don't think, to me, it's not a problem. Just state it. Don't oversell that you're a tech company, and the majority of the things, you're just moving things from point A to point
B. And
you can record that on a piece of paper.
Exactly,
and do it. So as long as you're not overselling what you have,
should be okay.
Yeah,
and I think also, just quoting Majani, like, I think the startups that will be successful are startups that are putting money in people's hands. And figuring out what that looks like. I think for me that was like a revelation, like, we're
fairly a poor country.
So just figure out how to
anything that has people earning, that would be a big betting. Sending people to Saudi Arabia to work.
And and I think also this kadogo economy, like, people need to figure out how to tap into it very well.
But you must have the masses.
So it's gonna be an interesting 2024.
We're gonna.
There might be hopefully there's a few startups we can buy.
We should start tracking which startups get set up in 2024. Assuming that everything is corrected, like funding will still be coming. Human beings will still be greedy, and if someone offers you money, you probably not say no. But with the lessons have been learned,
hopefully you'll do better.
And hopefully the quality of startups will be better. They'll be more stable. They'll have good product market fit. Figure out their growth, that progressive growth other than that exponential growth that you usually look for. So, I'll be happy.
And then I wish to see more local investors instead of people buying shambas or invest in
that will take a long while, because
it should start now.
I was reading a book about bubbles in America, how stock market went up and down and that kind of thing. It was because if you compare a European with an American, Americans are gamblers. Just generally gamblers. So some people have made incredible wealth from just gambling, right? Other people have lost money. So you need a society where people behave like gamblers for you to have those investors. We're generally not gamblers.
We're not gamblers.
Forget the sport pesas and betika, that type of gambling. Gambling where I would take my savings and decide, I think this startup is going to blow up in the world, and I'm putting my money there. We are still not yet there.
But I think, like, coming back, maybe if we start small, like, I'm not telling you to gamble like maybe we can collect small amount, give it like, and also will it require that much money is the question. Like we need to get better at communicating. Hey, actually this is how much
There's a lot to go in there. Also,
Yeah.
maybe Kenya needs to like have this thing about we're supporting our own startups.
Yeah.
Right? That also goes a long way in helping startups survive. And if a few survive, then people start seeing the opportunities.
Opportunity.
Like, it's like, oh, okay, we can put our money here. Go convince a SACCO to invest in a startup.
Startup, yeah.
There's too much risk for them, but that land almost sounds very
Sure bet.
assured of that. And I get it. A lot of people come from poor backgrounds. You don't want to gamble. Your future. You have parents to take care of, children to take care of. So we'll probably not see that gambling behavior where I'm betting my money on X startup.
Would you bet your money on a startup I started if I told you, Chris? Put your money.
Okay. I'll put it this way, right? The first thing for me is anyone who depends upon me is okay, and my gambling will not affect.
Yeah.
If I get to that level, then yes.
Okay.
If I've not gotten to that level, then it'd be a no.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So as long as your needs and your family needs are taken care of,
Yeah.
and you have some extra,
Oh,
you
yeah,
need to buy a
sure.
shamba. If
No, I just need a place to build my home. Once I have some few acres to build my home, then the rest I could now. I've done it before. It's not that I've not done it before.
okay.
Of course, I'm going to say. Of course, I'm going to say Sandy because I worked with Sandy and I know a lot of work that went at that was being done at Sandy. Actually, I never thought it would go down. I knew there was some good service being provided by Sandy, so it's quite sad it went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm sad for Sunday just because of you. Yeah.
I think the general idea was great, and you could see a lot of people who benefited a lot from the services that were being.
So who do you think I mean, there's still a gap there, right?
For someone to provide similar services. Actually, there are other smaller logistics companies that do that. I think there's another one called, I forgot about it, it's somewhere in Dasol area. So these are traditional logistics companies, and then they just build an app. Right?
Okay.
So I'm sure that gap will be filled pretty quickly. Pretty
Okay.
quickly, yeah. For the large sized vehicles, they're already, like I said, I found 2 examples in Dasol area where they're already operating their own fleet. But now to fill up the extra capacity, they provided an app which allows anyone who wants anything to be moved to do that. On the Ndudi side, perhaps Glovo will take that over and have that option for delivering packages and door to door. And I think they already do some bit of that in Glovo, so that market will be filled in fairly quickly.
Yeah. Cool.
We had a bet between Market Force and Twigger. Yeah. So no, in the app
we did.
And evaluated their chances of surviving.
Yeah.
I think Peter and Jonjo did a post that now they've managed to pay their suppliers, or at least they've
But
committed.
did they take a loan for that?
I don't know about the source of funding for that, but from what he says that they've stabilized. But that doesn't mean that they've gotten out of the woods. I think getting out of the woods being profitable.
Yeah.
That's the only way of getting out of the woods. Now, I don't know. There was a litigation on Twigger.
Yeah.
The provider of Google
Cloud
services
Yeah.
that were not paid for, that was in the millions. So if that is also the supplier and they've been sorted out, so the risks are decreasing, but I don't think they're out of the woods yet. They have to ramp up so many things.
Yeah, I don't think I think even Market Force is like on the.
Did you see a comment?
They're in bed.
So Tesh put up, I think it was on Twitter or LinkedIn, I can't
When?
remember which one, a few days back.
Okay.
And then Tesh had a selfie where he had said, "What something exciting coming up," and then Hilda Mora from Pesesha made a very mean comment there that pay your creditors, stop with this.
Wow.
So
It's not mean if it's true.
yeah, okay. So Pesesha provides funding for businesses.
Yeah.
So what I got from there was, I think Pesesha funded some of the
And they
businesses
haven't paid.
and then they haven't paid,
Hey!
and they're dropping that business
Hey!
to start something
Pay
else.
them, pay. Good job,
Pay.
Mora. Go tell them to pay. I'm for that. Like, if you haven't paid, pay.
Yeah, so I think market force is,
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So who else did we put on that list?
I think that was it. Sandy already.
Yeah, unfortunately. From the major startup, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's someone who mentioned that we tend to focus on this highly funded startups that have a lot of hype and PR, but there are also some other startups in between here who are doing a great job.
Yeah.
And we should also evaluate
Those ones. Yeah, and I think that was feedback. That's why we brought guys like Pickup Mutani. That's
Yeah. So just finding them sometimes is hard.
Yeah. I think or from the guests I've talked to, I think Africa's Talking is the only company that will
Survive.
like. I think that, and it's not even a startup. I think
been
that
there
is
for-
like critical. Like, I can't imagine. Like,
There are
every
critical
business
infrastructure.
needs-
Yeah.
like Africa's Talking.
It's the way startups almost have to use AWS.
Exactly.
now
So it's
startups
just that
have
they're in
to
a good
use-
place to continue
they
growing
found
and
a good
yeah.
good market. Yeah,
and I
agree
wish for more to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I like about that. They also do a lot of this developer
Developer experience
and they have their
hackathons.
the way Apple has their own events to announce the products, and Facebook, they also have something similar to that, which I think is great generally for the tech environment in Kenya. No other company. Safaricom did it a while back. I don't know whether they still do it.
They still try, but I don't think.
But the one for AT is great.
It's
People
better.
come in with laptops.
Yeah.
They discuss technology, coding, and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What about the Bupa? What about the other company, Kurasa? What do you think about all those?
So Bupas for sure. I mean, again, that is an essential need. Transportation is like, and I do think they are trying to figure it out really well. I think Sonia has a pretty good head on her and thinks through stuff. So I'm pretty sure like they will continue have continued success. Yeah. I think I even bet on Bupas as well. I bet for their success. Yeah.
So I think Boopers has not cornered the market yet.
Yeah.
And there are other options. The competition is high in that segment. So I think they need to corner. I think one of the things from my perspective is they need to grow their numbers.
Yeah.
Like
For
active
sure.
users, how many bus companies, how many people book through them. And I've been in the morning when listening to the radio, I could hear Bupa's adverts, like in those Radio Jambo.
Yeah,
and
they're putting a lot in.
so I think they're targeting the right market, like all those people traveling, Christmas and kind of thing. So I hope their numbers grow.
Amen. Even me too.
And if that happens, if they corner that market where if I want to book a bus to, I don't know, Kakamega, the first thing that comes to mind is Bupas. Then I think I can
that's
bet
gonna be good.
On them. And they also raise some funding, which can push them.
Help with their growth.
Yeah, but what I loved about Sonia is how she mentioned she's very conscious of how they spend the money.
Yeah.
So that being the case, and not splashing it everywhere. They have a larger runway, and if they do everything right.
And she's always thinking about like it's a business, we need to make money.
Yeah.
She's good head on that one. Yeah.
I think we already did something like that.
Yeah.
I think
But I think more and more, like even just speaking to a lot of these guests, you're starting to see, like you can sometimes see like why they would be successful or like,
I think because watching some show and one of the investors, can't remember who it was, but I think one of those top investors I think it was Peter Thiel. Oh, maybe I might be mistaken. He said he bets on the person.
Yeah, me too. It's just their vibe.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
In most cases, they bet on the person.
It's the vibe of the person.
Like, if this is the kind of person who gets shit done.
Yeah. They will be and he's at the forefront of doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's one thing I have realized. This the founders and the co-founders have to like really be at the forefront.
So you give your money
done.
to a killer, someone who will not sleep until something is solved. You can give them a very basic product, but they can push it. Yeah. Then of course that product market fit is also great, but if you have that warrior person, he'll figure out that product market.
And I get that vibe from Kikonde, Sonia. You know, you're just like, these guys definitely, they will be successful. Yeah.
You know, you should look at their backgrounds too, because if you look at Kikonde, Sonia, either they ran some businesses before, or they come from a background where they learned through somebody else how a business is run. When you tend to have first-time founders, and this is like someone like, oh, I want to build, Uber for chickens. Something like that. Then you realize this guy, he doesn't know, he's not seasoned. He's a first-time entrepreneur. And there's some stats which, I can't remember where I read them, that in the US, the successful entrepreneur on average is 40 years old.
Yeah, which makes sense.
For all this Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Steve Wozniak, and Steve Jobs, those are outliers. They're like a very tiny proportion. And the reason why they're trying to make an explanation for the 40-year-old is because they're seasoned. Yeah. They understand how a business is. They probably worked at a company for 10 years, or, you know, they were shadowing somebody for all these years. So they learn how a business runs. And up to a point where they realize, they look at an idea, they're like, no. And when they find an idea, they can easily take an idea and structure it for success.
Yeah. Totally agree. So I'm with you, the person, the vibe.
Bet on the person.
Bet on the person, yeah. Hey, Chris, Mr. Data, tell us.
I stopped making predictions because people will always wait for you and like, see, he was wrong, she was wrong, that kind of thing. But I don't think predictions are important per se, the way like, okay, I'm betting on this company, unless I'm an investor. That's why I like Nassim Taleb says that don't predict, show me your portfolio. In essence is only listen to someone who has skin in the game.
Yeah.
If I'm an investor and I've invested in 5 companies, then just look at what I've invested in. That's my prediction. This is my prediction. These are the companies. I could come here and talk about how, Twiga would come back. I don't know, Market Force will go down.
Yeah.
Blue Pass, blah, 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 blah. But I'm neither putting my money there, neither do I have stake in those companies.
So true.
Now, since I don't have skin in the game, my prediction should count for almost nothing. Right? So I should be like an oracle who tells you.
Orwa the Oracle.
Yes, I'm the oracle. Orwa.
That is bad.
So, yeah. But a more important prediction, because I don't have skin in the game, is like, which company would I like to work for? Because now...
Yeah, which company would you like to work for?
Startup. Man, I've worked for something. That's a hard one. I think I stopped chasing the company, started chasing the problem.
Money.
And the money too, because if I'm solving a bigger problem, I could ask for more money.
Yeah.
So you could go to a great startup and you're solving ordinary problems, get bored, and make a lot of money. So I like a company where I'm one of the few people who can solve that problem for them, and they pay me good money for it. So that's what I would look for.
Interesting. Oh, I think a lot of climate.
Did Web3 die?
Oh yeah, I think Web3 and Web3, I don't know what happened. But I think there'll be a lot of conversations about climate tech.
Yeah. Carbon credits.
Women? I don't know, hasn't that always been a conversation? More women in tech, more women in...
No, there'll be platforms for trading carbon credits.
Yeah.
it's now the thing, you know.
Yeah.
How much
Carbon credits.
You know, you should be getting carbon credits because you have trees here.
Yeah, I should. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
make an app where someone can come to your home and check how much carbon credit you are owed
Yeah.
by the government, and
There you go. Brilliant idea. Imagine how much money you'll get for that. Then sell it to the Watus. This guy is getting this much money because he has this many
everyone
trees.
in Eastlands in Nairobi will miss out
Yeah.
because they have no trees. And
But maybe they
live
could,
in.
they could start with like pots or something. Like they start from somewhere.
Inside their house.
Yes.
You know,
that's a carbon credit. Again, putting
someone
money
has
in
a
their
two-roomed
hands.
house and they're living 7 people in that house.
And you have a few pots.
And then the kids pluck off the.
It could even go as dark as don't have kids. We'll give you carbon credits.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking like Bill Gates.
That's the next startup. Make money.
Make money. I think for me, I want to do just more fun content. Like figure out, I've told you I've been wanting to do something like, you know, bring in people who have ideas and kind of do like what have we called it? Fish tank, where you bring your ideas. We have us guys as panel members. We're giving you like kind of like what Lions Den was, because I think we need that in this space.
Oh, like this is fish tank. Not
Fish tank.
Shark tank.
No, it's fish tank. We're small. Know yourselves.
Okay.
So I want to do that. I want to get more creators on board. I want to talk more around, like, just be more honest conversations about the problems we're solving. Who is solving them? Why are they the ones solving them?
Yeah. I think I would love to do more outdoor
Yeah.
content, like where we'd go. We mostly sit in the office, analyze data, and then, you know, make presentations. But similar like the Bitcoin one, like we go out more, you know, maybe interview people, you know, do just more outdoor content. I think that would be great for next year.
You do it. By end of next year, if I can get to 5K, 10. Whoa, what a goal.
I was
10K. Okay, sure, that's my goal. Let's get to 10K subscribers.
Well, I was about to say 10K, but I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard if you're not doing general content, and getting that critical mass of people who are 10K and love your content and watch it on a regular basis. I think that deserves a party.
10K.
If you get there.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you got to a K, moving from 1,000 to 2K, you did it in 2 months.
Yeah, that's so true.
So right now,
That's very true, by the way.
right now I'm
To you, 2 months, 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, I think it needs one great content, like just one massive content.
Yeah, it does.
That goes
But to
viral.
get that one, you need to just keep doing that. And then you're like, oh, wow,
that
this
goes
is the
viral,
one that...
and then people come like, you know, the way when you do a viral content, every 5 minutes you check your dashboard, the numbers are changing.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it slumps down, and then you get one person per day, and you just scroll.
Numbers are slow.
It is slog. Yeah, so 10K would be...
Okay, 10K. Let's get to 10K. More views.
More subscribers.
More views.
Because I think subscribers drive views. Because when you do one content...
What does YouTube say? I don't know.
So there's a metric which shows you...
Yeah, you don't. You get paid for views right now.
Of
It
course.
matters like
in the long term.
In the long term,
I think because I usually check where the stat which shows new viewers versus returning viewers. So I think when you're growing the channel, I think you should be having more new than returning.
Yeah.
Then once you get to that critical mass, which is now good for you, then returning viewers.
It's more important.
is
There's,
more-
there's engagement.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's engagement. So I think I think maybe it's the strategy. Like let's say 2024 strategy is gaining subscribers, even if you don't make a lot of money. And once you get that number of subscribers, then it's like now I need to make money.
I normally always look at those channels with like so many subscribers, views 10. You're like, so me, I'd always watch the
I think
opposite. Like,
okay.
yeah.
To me,
And those are people who've bought, they
okay,
bought.
to me,
yeah,
subscriber means this person liked this content so
viewed
much.
it and paid.
Yes.
Most importantly.
Views could be someone who they came in and they went.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, views are great because that's what gets monetized, of
Yeah.
course. But it just means that it doesn't tell me about how much you liked the content.
Yeah.
If we do one live show, it would be great. If we can,
Yeah.
it will be great.
We've been saying we want to throw a party, like for just
Logistics.
yeah.
Set it up.
I mean, I'd
Just
like
do
to
it.
just
Yeah.
invite people, just like have a live show, have a good time, just like
Yeah. I think right now
be,
it's
eat and be
only
merry.
it's only in comments
Yeah.
or on YouTube and perhaps LinkedIn and Twitter. That's the only engagement that's there. And then maybe there's some people who would like to give you feedback, but they don't want to put a comment. So I think having a live show or having a live interaction with people would give you some
Yeah.
good feedback that would never have gone to the
Yeah.
comments.
And then I also want to get to the stage of Mr. Beast where I'm like, Wangari gave 1 million shillings to this startup to grow. That is where I want to give them.
You need
like,
to make money first.
Yeah, I need to make money first.
Yeah.
But
So-
one day
yeah.
I will come back to this and I'll be doing that. Yeah.
Let's make money.
Let's make money. Community driven. Hey.
Not really. Because
We don't have CSR. Our family is our CSR.
well, I feel like those are the kind of things you do once you become
Yeah,
big.
massive. Yeah.
When you're still small, you'll go there, people ask, who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah, once you've grown your brand, your name, it's easy now to engage with communities.
But you're already a brand.
In a very tiny section of
People stop you by the streets. Hey, you're Chris Orwa.
those are people who hang out in Kilimani and Westlands. If I go to Eastlands, no one recognizes.
Yeah. I am a CEO of a YouTube channel.
Well, I think initially, because we were like, let's just try this out, right? And then it was like, let's have fun. But I think when it came to thinking about money,
It got stressful.
it now feels like a startup,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
now you start to figure out, I start realizing I'm spending way too much time
Yeah.
producing this content, analyzing data. Then in my mind, like I need an ROI.
Yeah.
I could spend this time sleeping
Yeah.
or doing some side gigs
Yeah.
and make money.
Yeah.
So now I'm foregoing something else to make this content. So that's when now, to me, it started feeling like a startup and I started reviewing the metrics. And when am I getting to monetization? How much money can I make out of this? Do I need, if I was going to make a living out of this, how many videos do I need to do? What's the quality? Do I need to create a red card? So then at that point, then it feels like a startup.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I do think it's a startup. You can either build a product or do media, like find ways to get to like many people. And I think like what we're doing, content creation is one aspect of it. So always trying to figure out what's our ROI and making sure we are staying authentic to our brand, ourselves. Because, you can listen to, you can sure go partner with, say, like a bank or a media house, but that will water down our content. But we can stay true to ourselves and
No, but
see, like, so it's always that.
I've seen people do that. I don't know the exact reason. When This Is S blew up back in the day, maybe 10 years ago, maybe less.
This Is Us. Tell us about This Is Us.
Yeah, she had her channel. She still has it. And she became big. I remember her website crashing when she announced her engagement, and everyone was like, who's this lucky bastard?
Yeah.
About this. And then...
And that could have been you.
or anyone else as well. Then I think she took her show not to NTV.
Yeah.
She had a morning show. She was doing so many things in her channel, product reviews, mix of everything else, and then she moved to TV, where she did a morning show interviewing different people. I don't think it lasted more than
No, it did
6
like-
months.
It cannot, yeah.
And then she moved back to doing her YouTube. And I think in one of her videos, she was mentioning how I think she lost something when she went to do
Absolutely. Corporate will kill you.
TV. And she, she stepped back to figure out, why did I start this channel? What really matters to me? And did that. So she went back and curated her own audience. And I think she's like, we're just waking up and doing whatever she wants, promoting brands she wants is what she wanted to do. And I believe that's what she's still doing up to now. So, yeah, sometimes that...
Yeah, so making those decisions, it's...
Yeah, now that feels like a startup.
Yeah, it feels
Do I-
like,
do I-
what do I do?
Do I
Yeah.
raise funding?
Do I
No,
just continue?
I have a question for you.
Ask me.
If someone comes and wants to fund your 9 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
would you take it?
It depends on how much you give me.
Good money.
Like, what's good money?
10M.
Kenya shillings?
Yes.
No.
Come on, that's the best.
What can I do with 10 million? I mean, I can do a lot with 10 million, but like, I think my vision
You can move
is,
in a nice house.
My vision is bigger than 10 million.
Okay.
Kenya
Someone just brought some money and said, okay, you're this production house,
Yeah?
Honeypod. I'll give you 50 million for, I don't know, half. Yeah.
No. It's too soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have...
Yeah, I mean, I can still afford to bootstrap, so I
Okay.
don't need the money right now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone asked me for money for Orwa
You
Digest.
have it, I know.
If there's any... if someone wants to give me money,
Just remember where half of it is going.
well, we'll have to get the lawyers involved.
Oh, excuse me.
To s-
Majani, when now every signature has the same.
for that, money is extremely tempting. It is.
It is.
It might kill the vision, the dream, whatever you had, or sometimes you're just having fun.
Yeah.
And people are laughing it. Then you became serious, and then people now hate you.
Yeah.
Because they kind
Why we this is not
Yeah.
why we like
yeah,
shit.
the challenge is always how do you make money while still doing what
having
you
fun.
love. Yeah.
Mr. Beast is always like, I always look
But it's
at
an
this-
outlier.
But so what? There can be more outliers. Like I also think like I always
You see,
this
you-
one content creator.
I started researching a lot.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, like, because out of everything I do, this is what I enjoy the most. And
Yeah.
it feels flawless. I don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Then I asked myself, can I make a living out of this? So doing the research in the US, you can.
Yeah.
I think on average, if you Google on average how much does a YouTuber make in the US, it's probably within the range of $4,000.
Yeah.
And if you're to make $4,000 in Kenya, that's good money.
That's very good money.
Right?
Yeah.
But in Kenya, apart from one or two people, I don't think anyone can make a decent living just out of YouTube ads.
Yeah.
I don't think so. So then you need to ask yourself then how, if I'm not going to make enough money just to cover, first of all, production costs, then how else can I make money out of
Yeah.
this? So
And
it's-
for me, I always say, don't have to know the how. I will continue
if
to.
you-
It
if
will
you-
get.
if you can survive,
Yeah.
for like 5 years,
Yeah.
then do it.
Yeah.
But then if you get to a point where you're like, hey,
It's a struggle.
this is a struggle, then you have to make those calls. That's
Tough
why some
calls.
people close their YouTube channels. Other people decide to bring in investors, sponsors, whatever. Like, even if it'll change my content,
Yeah. I mean,
I'll put food on
I
the
completely
table.
agree with you. Like, and even if you look at, I think, was it you who looked at it? Like, content creators, at some stage, you are pushing a brand, like either alcohol. Mainly in Kenya, you're only pushing alcohol brands. To me, that is already betting companies,
that's
which are
that's what people like.
yeah, they're than the ones that are paying. But to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
That
so
is not.
if you could make money out of subscriptions, let's say your YouTube channel people pay, and you can make
A good-
100K, 200K Kenya shillings, then you don't need those advertisers.
Yeah.
You can just run. It's the same thing with traditional media.
Yeah.
When advertisers moved to Facebook and Twitter, now like, okay, we need now to have paid subscription, and now we have paywall in almost all the major digital newspapers in Kenya. The reason is those advertisers are there because you can't make enough money from subscription.
Yeah.
So it's either subscription or advertising.
Yeah. Everything is advertisement.
I've thought about that, but then at this point, I'm like, I really need YouTube for now. Especially YouTube is very great for discovery. If you build your website, and I was looking at the traffic, almost 3/4 of the traffic come from YouTube recommendation algorithm, right? So it's YouTube that makes you discovered. 1-2 times you'll trend on Twitter and other social media, but it's never that sustainable traffic.
Yeah.
The sustainable traffic comes from YouTube.
YouTube.
Now, if you don't have YouTube, it means you have to do the job of discovery.
Yeah.
You start doing marketing, you have to do paid ads for yourself.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
And the other things, like your site has to be reliable app, which means there's some engineering going back. I even checked Vimeo, where people could subscribe. Then I realized discoverability will be very low for that. So yes, it makes sense not hedging it on YouTube. But for now, it's almost impossible to do without YouTube.
I mean, it's something I am thinking about and something I want to work on towards 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a hard. You need money. You need so many things. You need a tech team. And you know, YouTube. You never care about whether the site is up or not, or
you just put your
you just put your video there and everything.
But I don't know. YouTube needs to be a little bit fair. They're so unfair to like African content creators. You know, there's a lot. You're just like, why should we?
I don't think they are, because I was reading the reason why CPMs are lower in Africa.
Why?
It's because in the US, people pay more. So how it happens is people bid for keywords. Let's say the keyword betting.
Mm-hmm.
So different companies, and the more people bid for it, the person who ends up winning that for whatever period you want to advertise would pay, let's say, $10.
Yeah.
In Kenya, no one is bidding for anything.
I mean, because our companies still don't believe in
digital
I mean,
marketing.
they're putting huge billboards. Like you can see all they're spending
go
money.
Convince them.
Yeah.
Go convince them to move from billboards to for bidding for words. If you look, just there is a tool called Google Keyword Planner. Just go check it, and you put in a keyword. It tells you how it is trending and how much people bid for it. You put some keywords. No one has bid on them. So that means that because Google splits 55-45. They keep 55, they give you 45. So if someone paid them $1 per 1,000 views, they'll give you 45 cents.
Yeah.
Right. But if someone in the US is paying $10 per 1,000 views, YouTube will take $5.5 and then they'll give the content creator $4.5. So it's just because of our region, it's not YouTube's.
But I also think that is going to change. Like I do think as much like TikTok and Instagram, I do think YouTube is a platform that has a lot of growth, especially in Africa. Like
it can have growth from viewership.
Yeah.
But it also needs growth that more companies are putting
But I think once you get the viewers, once you get the people on the platform, the companies will start.
Because I think also YouTube is almost the only social media that pays you.
Yeah.
TikTok
TikTok
doesn't pay.
Yeah, that's
Instagram that doesn't pay. Facebook doesn't pay, even if you have massive following.
Yeah. But I think my fear is like it could go down the Kibe way, like where you're just deplatformed, and then you're just like it's
true.
So like
that's why. So that's why people who do content creation as full time, they'll have other things going. They'll have gigs. They'll have physical events. So that they don't heavily rely on YouTube. On YouTube. If YouTube decides to close my channel tomorrow, then I could go to Twitter, have a live stream, and then have an event where people pay to come see me MC or something like that. So I'd say use YouTube for what it's good for.
Yeah.
And build your brand outside it and other things. Have a website, have presence in other things, have digital audio version of your podcast somewhere else. Yep.
Well, awesome.
Okay,
cool. But yeah, I think that is a wrap for 2023. Just like I'm just grateful for all the viewers, grateful for all the guests, grateful for the team behind the scene, grateful for Orwa. It's just been honestly a remarkable year of just growth and support and just forever grateful. So thank you. And looking forward to just doing more and growing more. And just, I think always remembering where I started. And if Wangari ever becomes not a content creator and an influencer, just make sure that stops, because I'm here to create content and educate and entertain. Anything outside that is just not on brand for me. So.
Oh, I'm also doing one? Oh, man. You didn't prepare me for this. So I have to put it here.
This guy is so weird.
I've learned from the Mr. Producer, Super MC, Super DJ. Oh, thanks everyone for being followers, liking, sharing, tweeting, retweeting. I think this channel grew in a very short period because of everyone who loved what we were doing.
And you're on my channel. This is not going to your channel. Okay.
So, okay, let me... Okay. Sometimes we do this content because people love it, and the comments that people put up there and feel like we're doing something. Everyone who watched this channel also contributed money towards our legal suit, which is something we're eternally grateful for. You give us the motivation to do more interesting things for ourselves and for everyone who likes watching such things. Would like to see you in 2022.
Yeah? 2022? Guys,
which year are we on?
2024.
We'd like to see you in 2024. More energized, more videos. Happy holidays.
Guys, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and yeah, tuko pamoja.
9 to 5 has good vibes, but 9 to 5 with Wangari has better.